Thank you for joining me today. It's well, basically I'll start with what is energy. I do energy medicine. We've got Dewey here with us. We all know that when our batteries are a bit flat, we feel rubbish, and we go to sleep at night and we try to recharge, and sometimes we can't recharge properly because we're not sleeping properly. We also have all these energy systems in our body that allow us to do that recharging, plug in properly. But if they're out of sorts for any reason whatsoever, often that can be you're feeling upset about something or you're worried about something, and those stuck emotions stop our body from working properly. So you end up eventually long term, you can end up with symptoms in the physical body because of worries and stress. So this one's going to kind of focus to the end on anxiety and stress. And then, but basically, Donna Eden introduced this energy medicine system, and there are 9 energy systems in the body, and we have to really connect them all up. We don't question that Wi-Fi works, and we've got our own Wi-Fi right round about us. It receives energies, it puts out energies, and sometimes it just gets fried. You know, your circuits get fried, like your router stops working. So that's it. It goes through the body, and we can actually control it ourselves because our hands are electromagnetic. You rub them together, you know. If you all just want to do that with me, that would be great. You rub them together, you know that you feel friction. You don't know where does that heat come from. It comes from our electric systems and our energy system in the body. And it is electromagnetic. When we touch any part of the body, we can start just by tapping onto the cheeks. Just anywhere usually below the iris. Tap on the cheeks. We're connecting into the stomach meridian. And in Donna Eden's daily energy routine, she said, well, I've learned a few years ago, I studied that, and that's connected to whether or not you can digest your food, but also digest what's going on in your life. Because you can't digest what's in the news, you're not properly grounded, because these meridians, which are energy pathways, travel all the way through the body and allow us to kind of suck up energy from the earth, but also to discharge whatever's not serving as well. So tapping on this one here is the first one of the 4 thumbs that she teaches. We're breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. Usually do that 3 times. You're kind of really tuning into the body. And your body knows what it's doing. It fixes your cut finger without thinking about it. It breathes without you thinking about it. And it just keeps the heart going without you thinking about it. So we don't trust that anymore, but we need to try and learn that our body is really intelligent and can do what we need if we just know what to do with it. So this is all about empowering you. I said in the Zoom link to please not do anything that doesn't feel comfortable. You continue and just breathing. And a big sigh out. Kind of drop your shoulders when you're doing that, please. Then we're going to connect down to the centre of the throat, down below the clavicle. There's 2 kind of dents there. Please don't worry so much about exactly where, but you're not tapping on the bone, you're tapping just below that. And you're going to tap into the kidney meridian here. This is a meridian called, a number called kidney 27. And it connects all the way down to the ball of the foot and all the way in through the centre of the body. And it's very, very about grounding. It's very much about the energies in the system. And this point in particular, you're ever going into fear, because the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. You're ever going into fear or anxiety, you tap in this point. It kind of throws the discharge or the kind of spaghetti junction back into proper order. Because this is the point where all the meridians actually connect together. And the kidney meridian points really, really allow that to go back into balance and allow us to suck the energy up from the earth. Again, you're continuing to breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. This is all part of the 4 thumbs, as I said. So we're now moving on to the thymus. It's the chest bone. And you can thump that as hard as you like. I can do like this. And we see the apes doing this. This is all about immunity. Producing the white blood cells is what the thymus is all about. And actually being able to kind of protect the body as best it can. Recognising what's out there is, could be, whatever's coming in doesn't feel good. And it actually steps into action and works with the immune system to bring us into balance. Breathing in and then out the mouth. Again, try and really tune into the body. We don't do that very often. Kind of try to feel whether you're relaxing into wherever you're sitting or standing. I meant to say all of these exercises we're doing today can't be done sitting down. And if you really have got a bad arm or a bad hands that can't do this, just tap on the body or even imagine it into existence. Now that seems woo-woo to everybody, but it works great, and there's science behind that. Physically just imagining something. In fact, the top athletes use that all the time. They imagine themselves winning. So it's great. And they do, anyway. I'm tapping into the thymus. Breathing in and back out again. And now we're going to go to, like again, monkeys, they do this. They're tapping at the side of the body. It's kind of about your fingers from your thumb down. It's on the bra line. Everybody knows where the bra line is, whether you're a girl or a guy, you know where the bra line is. So tapping onto that. And we're breathing in and breathing out. Now this one is the spleen meridian. And when I mention the different meridians, I'm referring to the organs that the meridians travel through, not saying that there's a problem with a particular organ. There's something wrong? Please mute themselves, that would be fantastic. Because it breaks into the video for me, if you don't mind.
I'm going to study. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the spleen meridian is all about red blood cells and it cleaning the blood. So it takes the debris from the blood cells and it cleans the blood. Or it also produces nice fresh red blood cells. Breathe in. It nourishes, it helps us nourish the body. I'm just asking anyone who's joining us to please mute so that you don't break into the video. That would be great. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Kind of give ourselves a little shake. Try to feel your feet grounded. And I forgot to say, if you want to be more grounded, you can have socks on, but it's better not to have rubber soles because that also helps. But it doesn't matter if you haven't done that. It works anyway, but it does actually help you discharge negative energy and kind of suck it up. Doesn't matter if you're in a 5th floor apartment, it still works. The earth is really intelligent too. We work with the earth, our bodies work with the energy of the earth, so that helps. So moving on to crossing over, we've seen the ellipses of all the stars and the galaxies, they spiral and they do figure eights. Okay, so our body energy system does that to the cell, right down to cells, they do a figure eight. It's the positive and negative of our blood cells that keep the energies flowing. So rub your hands and shake them off. That's clearing off any sort of negative energy. Then we're going to do a crossing over to the other side, from one hand over to the other side and onto the back of the shoulder if you can reach. If you can't, it's okay, just try to do as much as you can over there. And we're pulling that energy down through the breastbone and off the hip and throw it off. We're going to do this a couple of times. And again, try to think of breathing in through the nose and out the mouth as we let that go. It doesn't matter whether you started with the left or the right, just keep doing that and feel, as you do that, see if you can feel your tummy or feel any kind of energies leaving the body. And then we're going to just bend down. Again, if you're sitting, it's still fine. Going from the hips down to the knees. Again. And then from the knees down to the floor. And you're really making sure that those energies are getting discharged into the ground. Then you can try and leave over to your back a little bit and just do a kind of crossing over all the way down the body and from the top of the head, crossing all the way down the body. If you can't reach your back, just imagine it. And I know that seems really woo-woo, but yeah, it's been seen in hospital beds, people doing these crossovers and people, their energy's getting back into balance. So there's, again, as I say, there's scientific stuff out there that tells us all about that. So, so from that, we're moving on to the cross crawl. Again, it's all about putting us into those crossover patterns, and it helps the right brain and the left brain connect with the other side. So this is amazing for people who are dyslexic or kids who are having difficulty having that brain connection, it really does allow the connection between the two hemispheres of the brain and the two hemispheres of the body. The left controls the right controls the left, and that really helps with that. So if you're seated, it's fine. You can just tap the opposite hand, so the right hand to the left and the left hand to the right, and just tap. Do this a few times. You're still breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Then Donna does it as a really exaggerated action. And you can actually watch your hands doing it. That puts your brain as well. It's not, you don't have to, but it also helps with the crossover in the brain. So you're seeing your hands doing figure eights. If you look at it, it's like the infinity symbol of the planet. You know, what the energies are traveling in that direction. So, okay. Again, just settle into the body. Sometimes it feels a bit difficult for the body to want to do that. That can often mean that you're in something called homolateral. It can happen when you're being really unwell. And I can share that information with you if that feels, if this doesn't feel comfortable for you. As I say, there's no need to be as exaggerated if your energies are really not flowing properly. Just don't worry about it. Sitting, just touch the opposite side and try to look at it to see that figure eight pattern, the infinity symbol. And that helps the energies just get back into alignment. We have from the next one, I'll just go slower, go a wee bit slower. I know I go fast. Just do some breathing and just check into yourself to where you're at. Sometimes it feels like your little generator has sparked up, you know, like if you've started the car engine. It's quite nice sometimes in a winter's morning to kind of let the car warm up before you take it off. It kind of gets all the oil moving properly around the engine, and it just feels better. You get the heater on. So kind of that's what it feels like to you. You're tuning into your body's engine. And just breathing in and out. And imagine all those energies flowing all the way through the body. The meridians that I'm referring to are energy pathways that travel through the body, all the way through the body. They actually give energy to the organs and they give energy to the whole system. So to allow everything to work, if these meridians are frozen or stagnant or stuck, it's often sometimes through trauma in the body, or maybe you've had an injury, and or maybe it's actually through emotional trauma. They kind of close up and get stuck, and that stops them flowing properly. They're not stopped entirely, but you just don't feel yourself. You don't feel as if you're actually in full flow. So, taking a deep breath, we're going to go into something called the Wayne Cook technique. So that's putting your hands, I'm going to do the standing version. So we're putting our hands back to back with each other. So the back of your hands are together. As I say, if you've got any injury, it doesn't matter if you can't hold them up. Just hold them where you can. And then you're going to cross that over, right over left, or left or whichever. Do one side one first. So right over left. And kind of pull your fingers together. You're locking your fingers together. Pull that up towards you and just hold. Hold it here. We're crossing over so many systems in the body here. And just do a breath in, a breath out. So now we're going to also cross the right leg over the left. If you've gone, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Okay? Whichever one you've done first, if you can do that one, but it really, really doesn't matter. Breathing in and breathing out. We often abuse our bodies. Well, we don't abuse them, but we don't really consider what they're doing all day. They're working for us all the time, and the energy body is holding us together. Sometimes it feels as if we're falling apart, but we're still here, so it's holding us together the best it can. And this one in particular really helps with that, again, crossover. This is the one that can help people with dyslexia, in particular. A guy called Wayne Cook actually invented it for his son. And it's very, very useful for dyslexia. It helped him start learning, takes you out of that, the fight or flight stress response. If you uncurl your arms and uncurl your feet, uncross your feet, and we'll do the other side now. Whichever we did first, crossing over, and then your other side. You might find one stronger than the other if you're standing. Just checking into where you're at, breathing in and breathing out. As we breathe out, our bodies are releasing toxins from the lungs that are being released from moving these meridian energy systems, the body systems. It was important for you to drink water after this. Take a little rest, maybe, for the moving of these energy systems is quite powerful. Now, they look really simple, but they're really crossing into systems that may well have been out of alignment for quite a while for you. And if you're healthy already and you feel really good, what they do is make you feel even better. You might find you're able to concentrate more, less procrastination. It's good if you can smile. Big grin while you're doing these as well, doing the exercise. That sets up things called the radiant circuits, which do bring joy to our systems. And I'm going to do a class on that as well. Breathing in and breathing out. So uncurling ourselves. We'll just shake our hands off. Give them a wee rub. Shake off. I don't know if you feel more in the body a little bit. You may not. These things can take time. They can work straight away, but you might not tune into the fact that they're working straight away. It can take a few. Donna even calls it the daily energy routine, because really, if you can do this every day, it can bring you very much into balance. It helps with sleep. It helps with hormonal problems. It helps just balance everything, your concentration, brain fog. It helps with all of these things. So breathing in and breathing out. We're going to now, if you can just taint your fingers together. I've just got my thumb touching my thumb and all the other fingers touching the rest of them. And we're going to put them up to what they call the third eye, but it's between the eyebrows and the forehead here. This one always looks a bit silly. And I'm the one wearing the really silly colours here today, so you all know me, you know I don't care. Just checking into the time. Yeah, we're fine, 10 minutes. So we're putting these fingers together, connecting into the third eye. You're connecting the meridians that are at the end of the fingertips. And you're kind of saying to the body to accept the changes into this. And it's really connecting into the brain now and asking it to focus on what's been happening in the body. You might hear my dogs barking in the background. I've got 4 dogs, 3 cats and 4 hens, and they're going to join me in my classes. If you want to laugh, it's going to be good fun if you sign up for the rest of them. Breathing in and then breathing out. And now we're going to pull our fingers, so your thumbs are not part of it, your fingers into the middle of the forehead. And you're kind of going to try and pull that energy from there to open it up even more. Take that to the temples and shake off. We'll go back to the hairline. I don't want you pulling your hair when you're doing this. And guys, maybe some of you haven't got that, so worry about it. But you're pulling along the hairline, or what would be your hairline. And you're going to shake that off again to the temples. Then we're going to put our fingers in. Girls, if you've got your hair just done, you're not really pulling at the hair, you're just pulling at the scalp. So we're going in and we're going to make a line all the way down the back of the body to the back of the neck, the bottom of the neck. So we're kind of pulling the sutures of the skull apart a little bit to let any fogginess or any energy that's stuck in the brain, if you're an overthinker, if you're anxious, we're really pulling that apart. You're trying not to pull your hair. Okay? Pull it apart and then move further back. We're breathing in and out while we do this. And relax. Moving further to the back of my head. And it might feel really lovely to you because it's also letting blood flow, spinal fluid flow better. It's letting the brain get a bit of space because that energy gets a bit stuck in there. Physically, we get stuck in the brain. Being dehydrated doesn't help, so drinking lots of water can help with this as well. And then I'm moving further down the back of my neck to something called the power point. That's a little vein that's right in the centre of the bottom of the skull there. I'm breathing in, down the back of the neck, pull those energies apart. And then we're coming down to the shoulders. We're really grabbing onto the shoulders if we can. And just pull that. Take a few deep breaths here. So it's breathing in. Let it go. And again. And on the third breath in, we're going to pull our hands down over the shoulders, down onto the heart chakra, and just hold onto the heart chakra here for a few moments and tune into where you're at. If you have a headache, that's called the crown pull. If you have a headache, that can really help. You can actually, there's a few sutures in the skull over the top here and down the sides, and actually pulling at those without hurting yourself, always doing it when you're comfortable with what you're comfortable with. Okay. Again, let's shake our hands. Rub our hands together and shake them off. We want to put our hands on our thighs. As I say, you can still be seated, it's fine. Hands on the thighs. Big deep breath in and out. And I'm going nice and slow with this because there's a few people on here who have never heard of Donna Eden or haven't done it for a while. So we want our body to be confident of what we're doing. We want our body to tune in. And we're always in too much of a rush. So physically connecting in with the intention of what we're doing. We've got our hands on our thighs, we're grounding ourselves, connecting to the body. A little bit of thanks to it if you want. Then we're going to bring the hands up if you can, all the way above the head. I'm not sure if you can see me, but my hands are up above the head. And then back down into prayer position in front of the heart chakra. And then we're going to look like an Egyptian, as Donna calls it. You're going to put one hand up and flat, facing the heavens, and the other hand down. You can see me? Yep, there it is. The other hand down, facing the earth. She calls this heaven and earth. So we're kind of stretching as much as you can, pushing down to the earth and pushing up to the heavens with the hands facing heaven and earth. Breathing in, we're stretching the spleen meridian, we're stretching the heart meridian, the lung meridian. All of these are going to get a bit of energy from doing these exercises. Stretching up as far as is comfortable for you, and then back to the heart position. And then the other hand, up. Facing heaven, facing earth. Breathing, but stretch as much as you feel comfortable. And then back. And then at your own pace, do two more of these. So it's up to the heaven and down. And I automatically look up and look down. Again, that's another crossover position. And then back. I'm bending my knees as well, if that's something you want to do, get your legs moving. And then back. Once more. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you get back to the heart position, big deep breath in, deep breath out. Once you can bend down, you can. Facing the earth, I'm going to go down to the ground, and I'm going to weave figure eights all the way up, just in case you can't see me, I think. Bending down to the ground. Have a little relax here. We're opening up the spinal fluid again, allowing the energies to flow. We're down at the ground, head down. And then we're going to just wiggle like figure eights. We're drawing figure eights on the ground all the way up the body. I've got the dogs trying to come out the door. All the way up the body. And then kind of imagine you're sprinkling yourself with lots and lots and lots of energy over the head, all the way down like a shower. Just imagine the energy is giving you a little tingle. And that one was called Heaven and Earth. We'll just lift up the hands again, up to the top of the body. Put your hands back to back again, so we're on back to back from the top of the head. And then just very, very slowly come back down to feeling those thighs. Really slowly. We're now connecting into the aura, which usually sits at arm's length from us, and we're really connecting that into the body and allowing it to recognise that we now know what we're doing and we're in charge. And the energy body's in charge, and all it's doing is coping. It does its best. It's obviously keeping us alive, keeping the heart going and all the things, but it's not necessarily connecting with what we need for our life. If it's giving us pain because it's got an imbalance, or pain at any level, emotional or physical, it's not a good thing to live with. I don't know. So again, we're now on the zip up from Donna Eden's daily energy routine. So the zip up is actually connected to the central meridian. And this is really genuinely like a zip on the energy body. It goes all the way through the body and connects with another one at the back. So central meridian, governing meridian, run up the body, and they connect together at the back of the throat from the chin. So we're going to zip up, and we're going to know that we've now connected into our energy body, and we're physically stopping anything that wants to come in and annoy us from stopping. We're coming up to the bottom of the chin, up to the lips, and we're locking that in with that intention. These changes are just locked in. And again, from the tailbone all the way up the body. I know nobody usually can reach, but we're coming across the top of the head like a zip, and we're zipping into the top lip and locking that in at the back of the throat, locking in the changes that we've just made. We're telling the body that we're in charge of our energy body now. It knows this. Now, the more you do it, it may not feel like it. The more you do it, the more it knows what you're doing, and then it trusts you. And it stops switching itself, stops anxiety, can stop the pain. I'm going to be doing some of these classes are going to be a bit more in depth, and they're going to be touching into pain exercises, anxiety exercises. For the anxiety exercises, I'll show you a little bit of them just now. We've got another couple of minutes to go. I'm going to just show you a point that's really, really fantastic for getting rid of negative energies. I'm going to grab your hands together. If you can tune into something that would bother you, just a little bit for 2 seconds, and we're just thinking, you know what, I'm just going to let go of this, the idea that I can't control my body. I'm now in charge. I know what to do. So it's all about self-empowerment, this. So I've grabbed a hold of the idea that you can't actually fix yourself, because you can. Breathing in, we're going to lift our hands above our heads, and we're going to go as we drop that down into the air. A couple more times. Let it go. If we want to just finish with something called the hookup. If you don't like doing this, it's a really weird one, but it's hooking up what's called the microcosmic orbit. That's out there in the field, and we're all the way through the body in the energy field in our aura. But we want to hook up and really hook into the body. This is amazing if you start to have or epileptic fits if you hold it long enough. You know, any kind of neurological stuff, it's kind of holding you together. So finger in the belly button, and you're hooking it up. I usually use the middle finger. You're hooking that up, pulling it up a little bit. If that feels uncomfortable, you can do it below the belly button and pull up. Anywhere on this line is really very useful. So we're then going to also connect in with the middle finger to the third eye, and breathing in, hook that up. Now, if you have time to do this afterwards, do this for a wee while, in the belly button, below the belly button, in the middle of the third eye, middle of the eyebrows, and really connect in, and you'll probably yawn. It's kind of a reset for the body, because it's taking you out of the triple warmer system, which is all about fight, flight, or freeze mode. And probably with everything that's been going on, everything that's in the news, anything that's bad that's ever happened to us, the triple warmer can be switched on constantly. There are a number of other anxiety and stress exercises. I'll just show you very quickly one that's really, really useful. And we do it automatically, just to take you out. I don't want to run too long, so we're physically holding our hands up to our face. I've got my hands, my thumb on the temple, and we're going, oh my God, oh my God. And we do it automatically. What we were never taught is to just hold that. Hold it. Hold it for as long as you want to. And you're connecting into triple warmer, liver, stomach, central meridian, all the stuff we've talked about that holds you together. So with that, I want to just say thank you. I don't want to run over too much. Thank you all for joining me. And I'm going to be doing a whole class on calming anxiety and stress with the daily energy routine speeded up a bit. I'll make this video available so that you can practice. And I was going to do 2 classes a week, a night, an evening one. I need to kind of check what suits most people, and the Saturday morning one. Again, we could change that to a Sunday. Just let me know whatever suits you if you're interested in joining up. And I was going to basically just see whether or not it's something that people want to do. I don't know. You can let me know if you're interested in it. I'm trying to keep it as low cost as possible for everybody, because we all need a little hand every now and again, don't we? We all need a wee hand to know that we're in charge and not our mad system that's maybe switched off some places. Okay, so thank you very much. It was lovely. Thank you for joining me, and I'll switch you off now. Take care. Have a lovely Easter weekend. Bye just now.